Mr. David Foxx, thank you for joining me.
Absolutely, George. Always a pleasure.
I want to talk about Social Security and possible pension gaps. People have an income gap, possibly, and the different ages of retirement do affect the amount of money a person would get over the span of their life. Is that correct?
Yeah, boy, that's a great topic. Actually, it's coming up pretty regularly now. But being informed on what happens with Social Security. For example, if you retire at 60, 62 years old, you'll only really receive about a third of what's due for you in retirement. So, which is crazy. So the US government now gets to decide that the full retirement age is actually going to be 67. So
Hmm.
if you start early, that's what you'll get for the rest of your life. However, you can set up accounts that will help you bridge that gap so you don't have to take your distributions on Social Security right away. You can actually withdraw from sometimes tax free accounts that will allow you to take income out of it for those few years until you get to the 67-year age where you can get your full benefit that will last your entire life.
This stuff is pretty complicated if you look at the big picture. There's tax law involved, there's rules, there's regulations. I mean, there's ages at different rates. And if you're trying to do some sort of calculation of, well, what does that look like over this amount of time? How can somebody get help on figuring out those numbers, the hard questions, the hard numbers, figuring that stuff out?
Yep. Each person is going to be a little bit different, as you can imagine. This part of life is pretty difficult to understand without working with someone who understands what they're doing. So, working with a licensed professional that can help you start to figure out what your retirement number even is.
Hmm.
Most won't even think about that until they're a little bit closer. So, start to figure out how much you need to receive each month in retirement. So, therefore, you can start re engineering or back engineering what that looks like so that you can start putting that into play today. So, for example, I've been speaking a lot of public workers about their pension plans. Right now, current pension plans are only assigned to pay out about 30 to 40% of their normal salary. So there's a
Wow.
pretty big gap that's there. So having a personal private bridge account that you can set up that will make sure that your income will still be the same in retirement as it is now is definitely an essential part of your planning. So
Now,
reach out today.
this seems like, obviously, if you're getting age 65, you're really
Mhm.
thinking about this. But
Yep.
if you're age 30, you probably really need to be thinking about this too.
Yeah.
And whoever's 65 is probably wishing they were 30 thinking about it.
Yep. Even at age 65, you can get into plans that where you can set up personal pensions that we were talking about that will last your entire life. That's how we can help out those that are ready to retire, but
Hmm.
not quite ready to start taking out Social Security. Those who are 30 need to definitely take care of or an advantage of compounding interest. Like
Yeah.
if you're not compounding your money, the bank is doing that for you, but they're not giving you any of those proceeds. You're earning less than 1% in that account. It's time for you to start taking a grab of your own money and earning that interest for yourself.
Hmm.
So start to be financially informed. The accounts are easy to get into. You just have to get more information about them.
Now, how can somebody contact you?
Yeah, you can contact me on my website. It's befinanciallyinformed.com. You should be able to see that somewhere here on the page. But getting into that site, even on the very front homepage, there'll be a button that says book it. You simply click on that and select a time that's best suited for you to have a 10-minute conversation to see where your current path is and see if there is a downfall of where you're trying to go and what we can put into place to make sure that doesn't happen for your future.
That's perfect. Thank you, Mr. Fox. And this is really
Yep,
important
absolutely.
stuff. I hope somebody hears this and takes action on it.
I do too, George.
Thank you.
Thank you.